Hello, and Starfield. Well, somehow, don't ask how. Well, we got caught up in a family feud, and we've been asked to now. Well, basically, these two brothers, Oral being the oldest, Stanley being the youngest, there's a feud going on between the two, and it's a case of we couldn't get them to agree to call this duel off. Now I'm a bit puzzled because Danica is now asking us to spike their drinks. So she's seeing that what we've got. If I can find it. I don't think it comes under aid, does it? Does it come under... Yeah. It says it's a vial of tranquilizer. The thing that bothers me is, how do I know? I mean, let's say I spike both their drinks. I give both of them. So I've got a choice. I can either apply a tranquilizer to both. Who's to say? See, I'm very skeptical about all this, to be honest. If I go back to the notes, somewhere in all this, from what I've learned, the oldest brother's always been protecting the younger brother, and he's been basically told to, well, he hasn't been told to, he's been protecting the younger brother, and then because the parents died, he was then basically given the responsibility of the inheritance. Don't give any of it to your brother. And the younger brother, what he's been doing is, well, apparently he's had his problems. His brother again's been bailing him out on that. So that's all. He's always been getting bailed out by his older brother. This idea of tranquilizing. So basically, we couldn't get them to agree to call this off. We're being told to tranquilize both drinks. Who's to say that this isn't all made up, that Danica isn't part of some scam? Because all it takes is one of them. If I spike both of these drinks and only one of them drinks from it, then I've handed an unfair advantage to one. In other words, Danica was in on something to maybe help suspect Amela. I suspect. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not gonna do anything here. I'm just gonna leave it and let it play out, because otherwise I'm influencing things. I mean, I feel I'm on nobody's side here, but I want to see how this plays out, because otherwise I think we could be in on a bad situation where there's two people, Danica and whoever else. I suspect Amela is gonna try and acquire the inheritance. I suspect, or it may be somebody's paying her to get an unfair advantage or something. I just don't know. And as I say, all it takes is one person to just not drink, and then it'll be, yeah, we basically influence the result. On the other hand, if I do nothing and they both do get tranquilized and they both don't have the energy to duke it out, it could end up peacefully, but then you're back to square one. So it's not going to get resolved. So I'm not going to do anything. I think that's the solution. Just don't do anything. I just don't like this idea of this. It just something's wrong. It just feels wrong.
Greetings.
Is everything ready? Then it is time to begin the duel.
Yes, finally. I am ready to do what must be done. The time has come. Amila, are you sufficiently prepared?
I am ready.
It is time. Nothing we can do now but observe and hope for the best.
Okay, let's see what goes. Of course, I could be completely wrong. If I'm wrong, then this is really going to end up in a duel. Hang on, did he not just pull out a cup from behind him?
To your health, brother.
And may the great serpent have mercy on your soul, Amila.
Or maybe not. Okay, maybe I misunderstood. Okay. Uber. They're gonna duke it out anyway.
Tell me, brother, will you be able to live with yourself?
Shut up. You brought this on yourself, Amila.
Pray that you lose, brother. If I am to die, my ghost will never let you rest.
So be it.
Oh dear. She's probably a bit surprised. That was a bit late, I must admit.
It is done. May Amila's tormented soul finally find rest in death.
Oh wow. I can't believe you actually did that, to be honest.
I can hardly believe it myself. But Amila was out of control. What happened today was inevitable.
This should not have happened. What have you done? You were supposed to tranquilize them both. You were supposed to scuttle the duel.
What?
Fool. Amila is dead because of you.
No, he's dead because Bohel killed him. But there's no guarantee the tranquilizer would even have worked.
It would have worked. I know it would have worked.
Even if it had worked, the duel would be incomplete. I would have made sure to continue with different seconds.
This is... I am done. Tend to your brother yourself.
Do not let Danica shame you. What you did was honorable. Amila accepted the duel, and you let it play out fairly. You did nothing wrong. Your duty as a second has ended. You served Amila honorably, and I thank you for that. Now, I'm sure you are eager for your promised payment. It was well earned. But now I am afraid I must ask you to leave. It is time for me to tend to my brother's body. Farewell.
Boobar. Oh well. I guess paranoia got the best of me. I seriously thought she and Amila were up to something. I just had that feeling that it just seemed wrong, because I mean, even if we spiked the drinks, it would have just gone through the whole process again. I mean, it wouldn't have resolved the situation. That was the problem. They'd reached an end point. And just had this strange feeling that she was trying to influence the result. Anyway.
The things they expect me to accomplish.
Hey?
Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir. And given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, Reverend?
Well, according to Motherboard, the work on the morning device must proceed.
Did he now? How magnanimous. But approval is approval, and I will gladly take it. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the scaled citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt. Politics got in the way.
This seems like the one time to set politics aside.
Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and every one realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations. And so, construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating.
So, why do you need a council's approval to do this?
The council just so happens to represent the 3 houses under Varun's banner, who are also entrusted with various aspects of running, well, everything.
Okay.
Each of those houses needs to contribute something to the project, so the council is the final stopgap. Were the speaker here, he could bypass all of it with a wave of his hand, but, well, you have already seen the state he's in.
Well, anyway, the past is the past. We need to move. We need to get things done.
Indeed. All must serve. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough. I need to oversee construction here, make sure things are built to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process.
Right, I've got a funny feeling they're not going to listen to me, but yep, I'll get on with it.
I appreciate that someone around here is eager to get to work. House Vetol owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now. Help me get what we need, and we will see what we can do for the Speaker, and for House Varun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, I must admit. They're not exactly friendly.
I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, anything can give me an edge, quite frankly.
The
by sounds
process
of
is
it.
simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage.
And I mean, how's all this been affected though by the disaster?
Just look around. I'm sure you have at least some idea of how much we have physically lost. A huge portion of the city is just gone. And those left behind are struggling. Supplies are limited. There is so much work to be done, and we are all just so tired. I hope that eventually we can return things to the way they were, but we must be realistic. That will take time, and I suspect a great deal of it.
Well, anyway, I mean, do you know anything about the actual experiment itself, though?
Not enough to have prevented it from happening. If I had any idea it was going to turn out like this, it had been Inasco's primary goal for some time. A way to recreate Jinan Varun's encounter with the Great Serpent. Everything we knew about grav drive technology, every scientific advancement we'd made in the last 100 years was poured into it. Towards the end, I was just so exhausted. I asked for a brief time off. Had I not, I would be trapped in there with the rest of the science team.
Well, sounds like the Great Serpent had other plans for you, didn't he?
Yes, I am sure that is how some would see it. I left the project weeks before the disaster, and at that point, we were nowhere near ready. Some breakthroughs were made shortly thereafter, and they ran the experiment. And here we are.
Intriguing. Well, anything you've got that can help me, I definitely appreciate it.
Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Deja vu. Have we just discussed that before?
I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling we went through that conversation before. But, yeah, anything can give me an edge, really.
The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, very odd conversations then. A bit of a look-see around, because he was talking about an industrial workbench, but I don't have one. I could do with one, but I don't have one. I mean, at least it's not like an alternate well, we are in an alternate universe, the universe I was originally in. But all we've done is we've basically been sent over to an alternate, well, a different system within the universe we're in, so...
This area is lucky to be unaffected.
So where's this place? This is House Kadi. Let's have a chat with these folks if we can. Hello?
Our influence in the settled systems may be small, but all it takes is a foothold.
Okay, it's good enough.
Can't be serious granting an audience. This is exactly the impression we don't want to give.
Please, Jamal. Don't you see how all this works in our favor? It's not up for discussion. No risk we worked so hard to achieve. It's done.
No, you'd risk our future and reputation as a house. But you are the chosen elder.
Ah, don't patronize me. The Great Serpent spared our house. We are favored here. Shouldn't you get back to the council? We can't afford to be absent at a time like this.
I guarantee I'm not missing much. But you're right. I'll be heading back soon enough.
Couldn't help but overhear that conversation. Not that I know if I should be like, but... This is very tranquil. Oh, hold on. I don't want to be outside, I want to be inside. Why do we come back outside? Did we come out? I don't want to be outside, I want to be inside. Surely we want to be inside, not outside? I'm confused.
If you must be here, please keep quiet.
I'm not saying anything. I could have sworn I overheard somebody up here. And there's the info. Oh, there she is, there.
So, Ekris has sent our newest reverend to inquire about Sahima.
What?
Don't worry. Jamal's already told me all about you. I'm Razma, elder of House Kadik and head of the Ministry of Conjunction.
Then it is an honor to meet the elder of such a noble house.
Well, it's also an honor to meet one as interesting as yourself. I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice?
Well, the thing is I could do with Sahima to help recalibrate the mourning device.
I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers. But the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by zealots. And now they're demanding negotiations.
This is a major overreach. I have never known the Zealots to be so bold.
And what have they demanded so far then?
The Zealots have yet to name specifics. At best, they'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council or even the reinstatement of their house. House Malene. They know we can't risk Sahima for Dazra's sake. So, they won't hold back when it comes to demands.
But... So what can you tell me about this House Malene then?
House Malene was fully dedicated to Jandar Varun. They objected when his brother, Jarek, was chosen to take over as leader. They knew he would bring an end to the Serpent's crusade. It's why they abandoned their house and became the zealots you know today, to continue what they believe is Jinan and Jandar's work.
Gotcha. And who is
Jinan
Jandar?
Varun had twin sons, Jarek and Jandar. Jandar fully supported the Serpent's crusade, and to many in House Malene, was the best suited to take over for his father.
Not yet. Well, I mean, maybe, and it's probably a big maybe, but maybe I can actually get to those hostages. In which case, yeah, Zealots won't be able to do anything then.
Aha. My thoughts exactly. Normally I'd have agents doing everything possible to find them. But we too suffered losses. We need to be here. Present. I couldn't risk more lives. It's the only reason I even agreed to these negotiations. But now that you're here, I can finally take action.
So... yeah. Well, have you got any idea where they actually are?
And that is where the issue lies. I don't know where the Zealots are keeping Sahima, but I have a good idea who does. Their name is Merrick. Merrick is a Kadik, and they also work for me as an agent in the Ministry of Conjunction. This is where matters get complicated.
Right. Okay, so what exactly are these complications?
As I said, Merrick works for me in the Ministry of Conjunction. They've been establishing an inside relationship with the Zealots for some time now. On my orders. Forcing them to give up the information could jeopardize all they've worked for.
Gotcha.
So don't expect them to be forthcoming. Get the information any way you see fit. As long as no physical harm comes to them.
Understood.
Okay, so glad you understood. Any tips on, like, getting him to divulge said information?
Merrick is proud of what they've accomplished, so I doubt they'll give up information easily. If being persuasive isn't your strong suit, perhaps appealing to their substantial ego may help. If you can stomach it. Just don't be direct. I'm sure it would put them on the defensive. Either that, or make them completely unwilling to talk.
Okay. So I'm kind of puzzled. I mean, why are you actually establishing a relationship with the Zealots?
What better way to surveil a threat? It's important for us to know what the Zealots may be targeting, to stay one step ahead.
Yeah, but surely enough, after a long enough time they'll figure out you put an agent in there. Anyway, I'll find out.
See that you do. You'll find Merrick upstairs in the meditation room.
Ah, that's who I just spoke to. Well, passed by, I should say. Let's see if a nice drink could help here. Otherwise, she could always rough him up. Right.
You're no member of House Kadik. What are you doing here?
Well, yes, I mean, I'm not part of House Kadik, but I am actually communicating with an Asco Beru.
Oh, so you're the heretic turned reverend who thinks they're one of us now.
Ooh.
So, tell me, what would a chosen one such as yourself want with someone like me?
Oh, well, you know, I mean, I think you know why.
Oh, I certainly don't. I may have many talents, but mind reading isn't one of them.
Yeah, just let's just jump straight to it. Look, Razma told me about your position.
Did she now? I guess this means the High Council is still asking Auntie Razma where Sahima is. And if you're here making demands, She obviously has decided to make use of you rather than undergo sincere negotiations. I see what's going on here.
Okay, so that's why she thinks so much of you then.
Well, I am one of the few to garner any amount of trust with the Zealots, so she should be. I can't imagine where the Ministry of Conjunction would be without me.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, especially how young you are. I mean, you must be some sort of a prodigy.
I do have a natural talent. It's nice to see I'm being properly recognized. I may excel in my skills, but it doesn't mean the hours I put in are any less.
Yeah, I mean, it does take time. Doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't it?
Exactly. There's still research, analysis, documentation. Too much documentation, if you ask me. But altogether, I have the exact talents needed to do this job, which is why I was entrusted with the Zealots in the first place. I admit it hasn't always been easy. They are Zealots, you know.
So, I mean, it must have been very difficult to gain, like, Zealot's trust, though.
You have no idea. I can't even tell you how much time and effort it's been to sway the Zealots my way. Not to mention the stress over my own personal well-being. I may be the best at what I do, but I'm not stupid. The Zealots do have the element of unpredictability.
In which case, then you know just how much danger Sahima and all these hostages are in then.
I was wondering when your own agenda would come into play. I've worked hard to obtain my position with the Zealots. And like I've told Rosma 1,000 times, I have no reason to believe they're going to hurt my dear cousins, especially Sahima. So, as far as I'm concerned, that information stays with me.
I mean, you can't be certain though. I mean, we're talking about risking people's lives.
You make a good point, for an outsider. And perhaps I should take your presence here as a sign. The location you're looking for is Shadow Station Epsilon. It's an old Varun base that they've taken over for themselves. Rosma will know it. Let her tell you the details, seeing as how I'm about to be reassigned.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your help anyway. I mean, this is good information. Should be able to save some lives.
It better.
Well, that's true. It could be embarrassing if it doesn't, like, but you know, that's on me now, isn't it? I better get far away from him before he realizes I've just duped him. Hello? Hello, hello?
You must have gotten the location.
Yeah. Shadow Station Epsilon, you know where to find that, do you?
I figured they wouldn't be completely forthcoming. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates.
Badlands? Is there anything you can tell me about this Shadow Station Epsilon?
Epsilon was once a research station, with a focus on grav drive manipulation. The Zealots have since vastly expanded upon it. But it makes sense if they intend to use Sahima to their advantage.
Got yeah, so they didn't just take her for leverage for money, they're actually using her. And what exactly are these Shadow Stations?
The Shadow Stations were established during the Serpent's Crusade. A series of secret military installations that few knew about, and even fewer may remember. The idea was to have isolated centers focused on different aspects of furthering the Crusade. This way, if one fell, it wouldn't endanger the others.
Okay, well, guess we'll head over there right now.
The sooner the better.
We will do whatever is necessary to bring Sahima and the others back safely.
Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. I expect them to be pliable after their last encounter with you. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe.
Okay, so a neutral location.
I see you have a grasp on how these types of negotiations work. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long.
Curious.
Reverend, a word before you go. Tell me, Reverend, what do you know about the Zealots?
Well, yeah, so they used to be part of House Merlin.
I'm impressed. You've already learned quite a bit from your time with us. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. Has my dear sister given you any history on our house's relations with the Zealots?
Well, she said Merrick's working on a plan to establish relationship with them.
I'm surprised she even mentioned that much. Razma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Razma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence.
That sounds like an incredibly foolish plan.
Interesting. So, kind of, expand a bit more on that?
House Kadik already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Razma wants the Zealots to back House Kadik, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade.
Wow. So how... I get it really. So basically you're saying they're sympathetic to the Zealots.
There are several members who are sympathetic toward them or their cause. Some see beyond their extremist veneer and believe they're just misguided. A very small few may believe Jandar truly was the rightful heir, but none would ever admit it. I'm certain it's the case that members of the other houses feel the same. House Kadik is just the only one who's been exposed for it.
Surely the High Council should be aware of this.
The Council knows nothing of her work with the Zealots, and I aim to keep it that way. All elders have their own ambitions. I'm certain that's all they see. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Razma has lost control and is putting House Kadik's reputation and power at risk.
Okay, so basically yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to go and get these hostages regardless. I mean, yeah, I'll have to take away their power, but it goes back into the hands of this lot. That's not helpful.
And that's what I wish to speak to you about. House Kadik shouldn't be associating with Zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the Zealots altogether.
Ah, good. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So, why don't I just tell her? Oh yeah, because you're part of it though, aren't you? Okay, so you want me to do something?
How astute. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Kadik and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Razma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties.
An extreme sacrifice for the sake of your house.
But the trouble is we need Sahima alive.
What we need is Sahima's research. which she has with her. You just need to bring it back.
Look, these hostages, though.
Think about it if you must. But if you care about your people, you'll come to the same conclusion as I have. And when you do, just know that we can't afford any loose ends. No witnesses. As far as everyone else is concerned, the hostages were dead when you arrived, and you exacted revenge in House Kadik's name.
So basically, this is, I'm sensing a theme here, just to murder everybody.
Of course not. But in this situation, it is the most effective means to an end. As a mediary, I am constantly weighing decisions based on both immediate and long-term consequences. This decision is awful, I know that. But the far-reaching consequences are worth the sacrifice.
Well, I'm seriously going to have to think about it.
I trust you'll make the right decision. Until then, I'll see you at the negotiations.
This is nuts. This is just nuts. I mean, if I don't... Truth, that's a power grab. If they survive, we're talking about a power grab. If they don't survive, it takes care of the zealots. It's that good old slogan about the needs of the few. So that's helping out. Oh, Struth. So this is here. Alright, I'm already here. It's got me a bit puzzled now. So where's this here station? Is it close by? Oh, there it is there. Oh no, that's the other thing to talk about this side. So he's saying we need to leave? Away Shrine of Redemption. I'm curious. Oh, it's definitely somewhere around the system. I just got the impression it was...
All must serve.
Yes, they must. It is essential. All must serve. Oh. Oopsie. That's not helping. Is the gravity here high or something? This has got me intrigued now. I mean, it's a serious dilemma, but... So I've got to go outside the system, outside the base then. Are you coming? Come on, I need to shut the door. Seriously, I need to shut the door. Well, it does seem odd that you'd have a door that's controllable from the outside. Seems just a tad strange.
What does your scanner reveal?
It says it's a hail pod. No idea what that means, but it's something. Oh, there's another one here. What do we know about these? Provide sealants. What is this thing? It's pendant leaf. You're a scavenger. Hang on, I'm assuming you're dead. Oh no, you're asleep. Any more of those floaty things? Seriously? You're not gonna let me scan you? And you're a brute. Oh, and you're a brute as well. There you go, bro. Yeah, so we've already found uranium. Sounds more exciting than uranium. Uranium's a... it just doesn't feel particularly interesting. Uranium. That sounds more like something to do with going to the toilet. Cobalt. Some nickel over there. Oh, there's one of those floaty things. Cobalt. You're peaceful. You don't cause mischief and mayhem, do you know? Find Sahiba at Shadow Station Epsilon. Now, are you vicious? Oh no, you're just a kid goat. Uh, 38%. 50%. Just keep wondering, so that's the Badlands Power Station. What are the UC out here doing? I'm suddenly curious, how's the UC managed to get out here? Sounded like a firefight going on over there. That is not our job. We're supposed to be doing a rescue. We're either going to be doing a rescue or we're going to be doing something else. That doesn't seem good. We're just going to carry on going along, just pretend we didn't notice anything. Ooh, iridium. Or iridium. Four of 6. What are your growths? More growths. Right, more scanning still needed. What's that? That's the Way Shrine of Obedience. I wonder what that does. Scan you. Oh, there we go. I managed to scan some. What's that? Is that Shadow Epsilon's over there? Oh, what's that up here? Something up here. Found something. Oh, it's not, it's just a crate. Zero wire might be useful. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's an industrial workbench. Ooh. Ooh, a vortex grenade. We need a dark vortex cyst. So that's a binding one. So that explodes and freezes. Explodes and does damage. One that summons a horror. Phases out targets. And that's just no idea what it does. That's interesting. So if you like, just want to have a bit of a play around and see what might happen. Random chance, there's an opportunity there. Alright, that's over in that direction. We'll probably need one more and then we're done.
Do you see anything useful?
I don't know. I'm still scanning. What's this over here? There's something wandering around here. So that's the kid one. So I found female ones and I found kid ones. Oh, there's a... I think there's a... Hang on, whose ship was that? So that's not mine. Hello, hello, hello. Whose ship is this? And for that matter, why is it parked in such a strange place? I don't think it's helpful to have your ship parked like this. I'm just saying. I think somebody needs to improve their piloting skills. It's resting on top of a rock and a tree. Very odd. I wouldn't mind scanning some of those floaty things. Ah, this is a doozy. This, I mean, I don't really want to be taking hostages out. I mean, if you... Yeah, I don't want to be taking hostages out. Because I get the impression that that's not good. Well, morally it raises questions. Where have you gone? Come here, you rascal. Where did it go? Where did they go? They were here. Now they're not here. Feel like reload.
What you must. Leave the rest for the scavengers.
Okay. Dilemmas. Seriously? Couldn't I just go inside and like free the hostages? Would that make more sense to do that? Oh, the turret's over there. Oh, have you already taken the turret out? Go on, just leave them. We need to focus on the hostages. Yeah, this is a real dilemma, because if I leave them... Well, if I take the hostages out myself, it does benefit House... Is it House Kadik? Ooh. This gun's not doing me anything. This one is. I'm liking your gun, mine. I think your gun might be better. Right, I'm seriously pulling out the bullets. Yeah, I seem to have a bit of a problem with bullets. How are you doing for bullets? Presumably better than me.
Are you prepared to die?
What? Are you talking to me or them? I won't be talking to them. I mean, I'd rather you don't shoot me in the back. Just saying. Are they throwing those grenades around?
Take more than that! You died, kid.
Ow! 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 I'm feeling a sense of ow. Right. Right, there's a lot of these zealots here. Ooh, that's under. Oh, there's a turret.
You can't hope to win.
Jeez Louise, this is not doing me any favours at all. Ow. Oh, now this is good against the turrets at least.
You're not blocking us.
I don't think a turret would, quite frankly. I mean, I wouldn't expect a turret to go for a walk. I mean, speak for yourself, but it seems kind of odd to me to expect a turret to be walking around. Right, someone over there.
Are you prepared to die?
Stop asking those sort of questions. They're not positive questions. We need a positive outlook on society. Less the negativity. I don't know what kind of gun I've given you, but it seems like a good gun. Oh,
Take your best shot.
obstacles. I don't have a crowbar.
Fighting alongside you is never dull.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Oh, fudgesicles. Hopefully you can shoot better than I can. Oh, good grief. Seriously? I need better training with a gun. I've
You
decided.
can't hope to win.
Well, exactly. Even I don't expect to win with these lousy stills. Oh, they're coming this way. There's a lot of explosions going on, mind you.
You're not walking out of here.
Who are you talking to? Oh, it's not me. Send some star stuff.
I cannot wait to kill you.
Once again, I'm hoping there you're not referring to me, because that would be embarrassing. Whoa! Jeez Louise! That is not what I had in mind. I think we'll slow the time down this time. You got anything I can take in an emergency? Oh, it's one of these. Oops, that was not what I intended to do. Right, let's get it released. Whoa, which way are you pointing that thing? Whoa! Oh shit! Oh, it's the turret. The turret picked it up. So what's that? That's a shotgun. I'm not really into shotguns. CT. take out...
This is futile. You cannot evade us.
Remains to be seen. I can evade turrets, apparently.
You have made a grave mistake.
No, I do question what I let myself into. What did I let myself get talked into here? Do you think this is a good idea? I'm not so sure. I mean, there's a lot of these people here.
Lost them.
I know. So what? But I mean, the bigger question though is, what am I supposed to do? Assuming we can get to the hostages.
There is no escape.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a question. You're busy fighting your fights, aren't you?
The best you
Oops, right. Shot you in the leg. Are you gonna... Stay still. I can't shoot you if you don't stay still. Stay still. Come on, pop your head out.
already.
Right, at least that takes them two out. Oh, somebody over there. Let's see the rest of the wicked.
You cannot beat me.
Is that you? Yeah, I don't really have the marksmanship skills to take this thing. Don't have any bullets left.
Die today.
Jeez Louise, all this for a bunch of hostages, and then I'm stuck with a dilemma of, do I rescue them or do we let bad things happen to them? Right. Decisions.
We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there? You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family.
We do not fully understand all that is at work here.
No finer group in the stars to be unraveling this mystery.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Grab jump is ready. I love this part.
These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
Human settlements throughout the galaxy could be at risk.
We are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever. This is where we belong.